It's April Davidson, and I'm back, and I have Nickolas Wildstar today. Very nice to see you.
Very nice to see you.
And so go ahead and tell me who you are.
Well, I am Nickolas Wildstar. I'm a candidate running for Mayor of Fresno.
Wow.
Yes. I actually ran for governor of California twice.
My goodness.
Yes, I was the Libertarian candidate in the 2018 election last year. And, of course, unfortunately, due to me being a third-party candidate, I was widely ignored by mainstream media. So
no.
I appreciate, outlets such as yours that give, people such as myself an opportunity to be heard by the public. Because
of course.
It is very rare. So
of
thank
course,
you so
definitely.
much.
Yes, we'd love to hear what you have to say.
Thank you. So, last year I ran for governor of California, and during my tour of the state, I had a few stops here in Fresno, and my wife and I, we enjoyed the city tremendously.
Very nice. Yes, very nice.
And we
you kind of get stuck here.
Oh, you do. Fresno is one of those places where if it invites you here once, you'll kind of be stuck to come here one more time.
Yes,
least.
Definitely.
But we ended up coming here a few more times after that, actually, and loved it so much we chose to move here and start our family. So back in June, we moved here and we had our first child.
Congratulations.
Our son, thank you very much. So he was born and raised now in Fresno. And with me being someone that just cares about helping those in my community, of course, those that are less fortunate, but also the middle class, business owners. I see the need in the community, and with our elected officials, of course, that's their job, is to fill that void, those desires of the community, whether it be, improving the homeless situation or reducing the amount of violence or, crime in our neighborhood. So being someone, again, passionate about helping out those in my community. Once I moved here in Fresno, I chose to, get involved with local politics. So I set my sights on the mayoral office.
I see that.
Oh, yeah. So I'm a big dreamer. And,
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. No. We need to be telling our children to,
agree.
Follow through with their dreams.
I agree. Yeah. And so with the, I went ahead and I read your bio. Right. And so I saw that there was a few issues on there. You just kind of brought a couple of them up. And so with the issues, you were talking about gun control. Mm-hmm. You were talking about the homeless.
Yes.
You were talking about the peace officers.
Absolutely.
Did you want to explain some of that to us?
Indeed. Yes. Well, of course, with the homeless situation, that seems to be, just booming statewide.
It is, yes,
uncontrollably.
I agree.
So I do think here in Fresno we have an opportunity to kind of set the pace on how to approach it in a more humane and civil way.
Okay.
And of course a less in a more economical way. So the state governor actually, he just awarded us $11 million to, deal with the homeless situation here.
Oh, my goodness.
And
I didn't know that.
Yes, he did. We were just granted this money. And unfortunately, state officials still seem a bit lost as to how to, use it. So one of the things I offered during my gubernatorial race, I would like to do here in Fresno, and that's build 3D printed homes.
Okay.
And there's an actual 3D printed machine.
Oh, my goodness.
Construction developers have built where it will build a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom home that is self-sustainable. So it runs off of solar power. It has its own plumbing and water system. And
I want one.
Right. I think everybody should have one of these. And I really believe that self-sustainable homes is the wave of the future. Because it, again, will reduce the amount of cost for the homeowner, but as well as the global impact on our environment. Of course, we want to be utilizing technologies that aren't fossil fuels, more renewable energy. So this would set the trend towards that sort of, evolution of
Okay.
humankind.
Okay. Yes, very true.
Indeed. So we could start first with helping those that are living on the street and building these one bedroom houses. This 3D printed machine can do this in less than 24 hours.
Oh my gosh.
For less than $5,000 each.
Oh my goodness.
So that $11 million could go, very far.
Very true.
So I'm offering to start out first with the small community of about 100.
Okay.
For those that are living on the street that are in need of immediate housing.
Okay.
Families with small children. We have a large population of teenagers, whether they are dealing with drug abuse or,
Okay.
were kicked out of their homes, foster care for whatever reason. And also our military veterans,
Yes.
who definitely do not deserve to be living on the streets after serving our country and serving us, we the people.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I really feel like this would be a great way to kind of, provide immediate housing for those in need, and it would be a long-term solution. In addition to that, I think reducing the amount of costs for builders to actually build affordable homes.
Okay.
Licensing fees can be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on what type of residential property that you'd like to build. So I would like to reduce that to zero.
Okay. Yes, I saw some of that on your website as well.
Absolutely, because reducing the amount of cost for the builder, of course, is going to pass down those savings on to the renter or leasee. So
Okay.
I again feel like that would be the best way to ease regulations for business developers and business owners, and allow more affordable homes to be built. Not only for the for the homeless, but for the middle class as well. Those that are living paycheck to paycheck,
Right.
and are threatened with possible homelessness themselves.
Right.
And of course, we do have a large population of the middle class that would love to buy a home.
Right. Okay.
Especially those in my generation. We seem to be not afforded the same type of liberties that generations before us were. So I would like to bring that back to some degree, that liberty of being able to afford homes.
Okay.
And buy a home. And also with regards to gun control, believe it or not, the majority of the arrests here in Fresno are due to weapons violations.
Okay.
So whether it be the person is in possession of an actual gun or in possession of some other type of a weapon, believe it or not, collapsible batons are considered weapons in the state of California.
Okay.
If you have one in the state of California, they are against the law.
Oh,
and
goodness.
if you get caught with one, you will be charged with possession of a weapon and have to serve a prison term for felony. And it is unfortunate. So this does, of course, create some injustice in our criminal justice system. So to alleviate that altogether, I would like to get back to constitutional carry for the city of Fresno. And that means that everyone in the city of Fresno will be able to be in possession of a weapon in accordance with our United States Constitution, which says that you have the right to protect yourself and it shall not be infringed. Now, I know a lot of people may frown upon that, especially with those that may support gun control. But any type of person that has done any small bit of research into, violent situations involving guns or incidents, it always usually has happened when the person wasn't armed themselves or is in a gun-free zone. So if we allow those individuals, such as ourselves, to be able to be in possession of a weapon at any given time and have that be respected by our law enforcement, then we not only reduce the amount of arrest by police officers for being in possession of a weapon, but the actual attacks from those that may pose a threat, a criminal, those that are involved in guns or in gangs. The main reason why they do have a gun is because they want to protect themselves.
Okay.
They are involved in the gang because they feel like that group itself will protect them.
Okay.
So it has to deal with the mentality of them feeling threatened by someone from the outside. Take away that threat, and now the person feels secure in their person and no longer has to live in fear. And that's what we want. And of course, women that want to have the opportunity to protect themselves, not only their bodies, and their
Yes.
choices, but again, when threatened by someone from the outside. So, I really feel like it will reduce the amount of police shootings of those, people of color
Okay.
that tend to be in possession of a weapon, and because they are seen as a threat, are usually end up shot and killed by police officers. That's happened numerous amount of times here in Fresno. One of the recent shootings from 2017 of Isaiah Murrieta Golding was a 16-year-old that was running from Fresno police. He was believed to be in possession of a weapon, and he was shot in the back of the head by a Fresno PD officer. So,
Okay.
Again, if his natural right to protect himself was respected, then the officers would have approached him in a different way.
Okay.
That's why I also feel like additional training should be included as well in that criminal justice reform or criminal justice system reform. Pardon me, you said gun violence?
Oh,
or
actually,
gun control.
Yeah, gun control. And I read that you said with the gun control that you suggested that there become some education on the safety of the guns.
Absolutely.
So that with the gun control, people know how to handle the guns.
Exactly. I mean, if we're going to, again, give people the right to now protect themselves, if they want to go to a store and purchase a gun, they now can go to training seminars being conducted by officers. So now they have a trained professional providing them with training in our inner cities and in our communities, neighborhoods. This will be open to the public, of course. And now they're getting that training from officers. And they are building that relationship with the community
Right.
as well and strengthening
Right.
there.
Okay.
So now they trust their law enforcement opposed to seeing them as a threat also.
Right.
So that's eliminating another fear from the person's mind. I also feel like instilling a civilian law enforcement agency would be beneficial for the community as well, because that would improve the relationship between law enforcement and those people of the community that feel the need to protect themselves and or people in the community. So now we can take those gang members and actually give them a badge. And they're working hand in hand with police officers to actually keep people of the community safe. I think that would be a better role, for that individual opposed to them being seen as being a threat to society. And so with that development, of course, I feel like I guess a marrying of the relationship between the the law enforcement agency and the civilian law enforcement would give those people that are maybe felons that are not able to get gainful employment. Now they can get a job through the law enforcement, the civilian law enforcement agency, and have a pathway to the actual, law enforcement for the city. So that's, again, giving that person an opportunity to get their life back on track as well.
Yes, I read that you also thought that the police officers needed more training because you wanted them to be considered more like peace officers than
Absolutely.
police officers.
Yes, indeed.
Because they needed more training. That way that they could be the better relationships with the people.
Exactly.
Okay, and so explain a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I've actually found out that a lot of, many of our officers have, old beliefs on, engaging an individual. And of course, when it comes to the training itself, they're told specific individuals are seen as a threat. Again,
Okay.
the person in possession of a weapon. So many of the officers themselves need to actually be given more weapons training themselves.
Okay.
So I think that actually needs to be a big part of it, indeed. But with regards to, I guess, taking that relationship of training, I think with regards to engaging more of the community and getting them involved would help alleviate many of the problems that we see between law enforcement and our people, we
Yes.
the people.
Yeah.
But it's not really more to embellish, I would say, more than that. But more so the focus on the officers getting improved training where it's necessary.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then I also saw that you wanted to bring businesses back to Fresno.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Okay. And you wanted to do that with some tax things. Yeah.
Well,
so
yeah.
explain a little bit about that.
Eliminating a lot of the taxes.
Okay.
you know?
Eliminating a lot of the taxes. That would be great. I would love to eliminate a lot of the taxes.
Well, yes, especially what I was saying about the licensing, not
Yes,
only when
yes,
it comes
the
to
licensing.
building, but for businesses that want to start a business, exorbitant fees, again, apply there as well. So if we can eliminate the business fees, licensing fees, permit fees, zoning fees, et cetera, then that would give those businesses more of an opportunity to flourish, especially those that don't have the startup costs,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
or are unable to obtain that through means of a loan through a financial system.
Okay,
Which is
okay.
another proposition of mine, which is to create a People's Bank of Fresno.
Yes, I saw that too.
All right,
okay,
great.
explain that.
Yeah, well, what I would like to do is create a People's Bank of Fresno, which would not be part of the federal banking system.
Okay.
Therefore, it would be able to conduct business using all currencies, and that would be cryptocurrency, that would be gold, silver, precious metals, etc. So you would be able to take these items
Okay.
into the bank and actually make financial transactions. This would also be beneficial to the cannabis industry here in
Okay.
Fresno.
Okay.
These are legitimate businesses that unfortunately don't have the means to go to an actual bank and open a bank account because of federal regulations. So with the People's Bank of Fresno, they'd now be able to go into the bank and deposit those funds.
Okay.
And have them be safe and secure in that facility. The other two sides of a bank, how they work, is one, they take your money, and
Okay.
two, they give your money to other people.
Yes. Okay.
So in taking that money from the cannabis industry, they can now give interest-free loans to
Okay.
those people that I said that are turned away from the larger banks. And now are able to get that loan from the People's Bank of Fresno, interest-free.
Okay. Okay.
And hopefully that'll give them the, startup costs that they need to get that business off the ground. And that's what I would like to see, an opportunity for more smaller businesses to be able to develop and grow and compete with some of the larger businesses, allow the doorway for free enterprise to be kicked open wide.
Okay.
And that's what I believe would be more beneficial to us as consumers as well, because if we have more competitors, then the more the cost goes down, the less
Okay.
it is for us. So eliminating those business fees, those startup costs, et cetera, would definitely help. And part of what I'm calling Fresno First initiative is building that People's Bank of Fresno.
Okay. Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay. And then I also read that you wanted to do something about the energy.
Yes, indeed. Part of that Fresno First initiative
Okay.
is also creating our own public utility here in Fresno. So this would be a water and power company where we would be utilizing sustainable technologies such as solar power, wind power, hydroelectricity, etc., to create our own electricity and power the homes and businesses here in the city. If we outfit the city to where we're able to now do so, using one tax expense. Now everyone in the city will be able to live electric free.
Okay.
And that would be great because I think, of course, pardon me, those people that are having troubles paying utility bills won't ever have to pay an electric bill ever again. And also with the water, believe it or not, there's other technologies that exist. It's called an atmospheric water generator.
Okay.
So it's a machine that literally makes water out of thin air. And it can do this to the tunes of hundreds of thousands of gallons of water. Hundreds of thousands of gallons of water. So it can create this water, and again, we'll have our own water. Won't have to pay any water, and we can pay off any excess or sell off any excess water or power to those businesses, larger businesses that may need extra, and or cities or states that may want to purchase it from us. So now we actually have a commodity here in Fresno that we're selling off, and the taxpayers, since they funded the whole operation, would be the benefactors of it. So then we'd be able to possibly put in place a universal basic income if wanted, and or tax kickbacks to anyone and everyone that wanted them. Or we can say, I don't want the money, and the money goes into the people's Bank of Fresno.
There you go.
To again be paid for to those in need.
Very nice.
Also, part of my Fresno First initiative, I would like to create a more state of the art public transportation system.
Yes, I've read about that too.
Yeah, it's been long overdue.
You were comparing it to, you wanted it compared to, where was it that you said there was a really good transportation?
Shanghai.
Yes, okay.
Shanghai.
Okay.
They actually have a maglev train system. And of course, this state-of-the-art train system can be built affordably.
Okay.
And once it is built, again, we'll have a transportation system that will increase the amount of credit here in the city. I don't know if you guys know this, but believe it or not, but your tax rate for your home, it is actually connected to the credit rate of the city. So the more you have to pay in property taxes is actually connected to the city value. So if we can improve the credit score for the city, now you are paying less in property taxes.
Okay.
So if we could, again, beautify the city, which is another part of what I'd like to do.
Yes, I read that too.
Yes, is build more community gardens. Those are not here in Fresno, since we have a large agricultural industry, but no community gardens, no sidewalk gardens, something that runs rampant in Orange County, where my wife and I moved from.
That's right.
So
you guys did move
like
from
to
there.
see more of that here in Fresno, more parks, and again, giving us an opportunity to move to and fro in many ways would be better. This maglev system would be great. The Boring Company by Tesla is actually an underground tunnel system that will allow you to bypass traffic. So while we have problems on the freeways here, 99 and 41, etc., we'd be able to build these tunnels underground that will connect you from one part of the city to the other. You drive down, put your car on this sled, and it drives through the city at like 300 miles per hour, get you over from one point to the other. And it again will reduce traffic here as well. And I think Fresno has an opportunity to create an even greater history.
It sounds like it. You have a lot of goals.
Oh, thank you so much. It has a wonderful foundational history, a traditional history here in Fresno, and the way that we can modernize that and, again, set the pace for the future, because as the saying goes, so goes California, so goes the rest of the nation. So if we can lead the way here in Fresno and show the rest of the state of California how we can alleviate, the issues that the majority of us deal with, especially from our government,
yes,
then we could hopefully lead the trend to start getting other states to follow that path. And again, create the foundation for the utopian society that we're all wanting and desiring from humankind.
Okay.
I mean, because we do want that, a better place for us to live happily, peacefully, joyfully, and
Definitely.
it has to start first with the inspiration and motivation to do so. We can't be so jaded by what has happened in the past to think that it can never happen. If we want to tell our children it can happen and to start working on that future, then we have to lead the way as adults ourselves and be the trendsetters and the pioneers for that.
I agree.
So
yeah.
I'm hoping to do so as the next mayor of Fresno with my
Okay.
Fresno First initiative. It's part of what I'm calling my Gold New Deal, since I am a libertarian.
Yes.
And, this is part of ways for us to, again, become more green efficient. Yet at the same time, we the people are benefiting from it, opposed to larger corporations, who have always benefited from it. So if we want to shift the, the capitalistic nature of corporatism, then we have to be able to be benefactors of our resources, and our land, our food, our water. We sell off these commodities to corporations. If not, they take them, and we don't get anything because of it. What is it? The company Niagara? They just got discovered for poisoning the water here in California with arsenic. So right. And,
Yum!
yeah, and you have companies like Nestle siphoning off hundreds of thousands of gallons of water, fresh water, and selling it back to us as bottled water.
Is it tap water or
yes.
what is it?
And we get nothing because of it, So something's got to change somehow,
Okay.
And again, I feel like if we want to be pioneers for that, then we have to start first with our elected representatives, since they are the ones that we're choosing and selecting to be representatives of we the people. If they're getting on stage and they're speaking in interviews about what we want, then we need to see them come to fruition. They have term limits for a reason, okay? Stop letting these people get off the hook, okay?
Okay.
2 years should not turn into 12 years.
Okay.
To turn into 20 years, okay?
Okay.
If it's not done within the first few years, okay? And that's what I'm offering as a
Okay.
representative is if I'm not able to do the job within the first 2 years as a public representative, I will step down,
Okay, you heard him.
I will step
You heard
down.
him. Okay. That's what he said.
Especially if you guys call me and say, Wildstar, you suck. You didn't do anything you said you wanted to do.
Oh, there you
Or you
go.
would do. So, yeah, first things first, what I am offering to do as a representative is reduce the amount of costs for residents of Fresno, and we are paying a lot of money for our public representatives. We have over 800 city employees that get paid six-figure salaries.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, believe it or not, and I mean the median income here in Fresno is about $30,000. So there isn't any reason why they should be getting paid that amount of money. We have fire office chiefs that get paid $250,000 a year. They aren't firefighters, they're the fire office chief. So
Wow.
yeah, I would rather see the firefighters get paid, that $100,000 a year. So that's what I'm offering to do for our emergency employees is give them a base salary of $100,000 a year for our officers and fire personnel. And with city employees such as myself, I will be reducing my own salary to $60,000
Okay.
since the mayor's salary is almost $200,000.
Okay.
So I'll be taking a pay cut to do the job.
Okay.
And I will be, adopting this as policy for any new city official
Okay.
moving forward. I would love to also eliminate the unfunded liabilities, the amount of money that we're paying out for pensions for city retired city employees.
Okay.
That tends to be in the amount of six figures as well. So if we could stop passing on that bill of debt to us and our children, and our children's children's children, then that would be great. So one of the first ways we could do that is by stopping the bill.
Okay.
And if we can pay off all of those individuals that are on, in retirement now, give them a chunk of money. Now they know what they're working with, opposed to it being undetermined and being under threat. I speak with a lot of retired, city employees, and that's what they tell me is they just want to know how much that they're going to be working with, since this is now their only source of income for some of them, So eliminating that cost there would definitely help. And unfortunately, what we've seen with our law enforcement is, like what I was saying with the shooting of Isaiah Murrieta Golding, is it leads to lawsuits against the city, to where now, there's wrongful death lawsuits or racial discrimination lawsuits against the city cost the city residents, us, we the people, hundreds of millions of dollars. And this new, shooting, of course, is going to lead to a civil suit, and it's going to be tens of millions of dollars. And we're actually approaching the red here in Fresno. So I would like to turn the curve on the budget here. So we're instead of us possibly going bankrupt, we're now making money and able to pay off the debt we'd accrued and start building some surplus here.
Okay. That sounds great.
Oh, thank you. Great.
Yeah.
I hope you guys like it as well.
I think
I could talk your ear off forever, and so is hers. So.
Yeah. Now, is there anything else you'd like to share today?
Absolutely. The one thing I would say is, of course, with the long-standing of traditions here in Fresno, is a lot of relationships, long-standing relationships. And the people running for office, they have great reputations, as well as bad ones. People of the community know about their good deeds as well as the bad ones. So I ask that be taken into consideration when choosing your public representatives. And with me being a newcomer, all I can say is I have the best ears and eyes to tell you, those longstanding residents of Fresno, what's exactly missing here in the city. And I'd be happy to do all in my power as your representative of we the people, as the next mayor, to improve all of those conditions. So I'm asking everyone out there to please visit my website, wildstar2020.com. Wildstar2020.com. And
you can't say it enough,
I
right?
can't say it enough because
say
again, Wildstar2020.com. There we go. All right. Even got a plug up there.
Yep.
So
Oh, there it is.
yeah, that's my website.
That's your website.
So yeah, when you go there, it'll look just like that.
That's
because
right.
like I said, I don't get much exposure from the mainstream media. And I need you. I need your voice. I need your people power. And that's what this election is all going to be about, is your power, your voting power, your abilities to get back the powers that you've lost with government. The one thing that I actually propose or actually put out there on my flyers is my mission statement, letting people know, take back your power. I speak with a lot of people, and that's what they say, is they feel like their votes don't matter.
Okay.
So they don't want to go out and vote, because they don't feel like either the system is going to do what, they say they're going to do once they get elected, or if they vote, it's going to go down the drain anyway. So this is an opportunity for you to flex that vote, that voting power, and actually have it count, have it make a difference, and have it make those changes that you want and desire from your community, from our community.
Okay, you hear it. You heard it. Nickolas Wildstar.
Hello.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
I can't
so
wait to
much.
have you again.
I would love to come back anytime.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you.
And thank you
have
to
a
all
great
of you.
evening.